It has officially been one full calendar year since I last uploaded a video talking about NBA basketball in any capacity, but we just got some news today that for some reason sparked a fire in me that I need to talk about this because I am surprised, flabbergasted, bamboozled, whatever word you want to throw on there to add some spice. I am stunned by the recent revelation. Don't worry about Mewtwo. He's here because there's a television behind him and it's a black screen and it shows everything in the room, and I don't want you looking at my room, you weirdo. So we're going to talk about the announcement made today that Kawhi Leonard, as expected due to his injury history, will not be participating in Team USA basketball at the Olympics, and his replacement is Derrick White. Now, Derrick White is an interesting player because, obviously, I think it's obvious that he had a great year this past season, the 23-24 season, when the Celtics went on to win the NBA championship. He was a big reason for that. He was actually 18th in the league in total win shares added, which was after Tatum, but it was above Jaylen Brown, so he was second on the championship team in win shares. But still, Derrick White doesn't strike me as a Team USA guy. And I don't want to take away from his ability as a player and away from the fact that he is an incredible fit to that roster, especially with, they had a bit of a lack of real guard play outside of they got Curry and Reese, but after that I think it was, I don't even know. But, he's going to be a great fit. Derrick White is one of those guys that you could probably glue him onto 29 out of 30 NBA teams and they would automatically be better. And that last team that you can't glue him on is the team he's already on. Think about it. It's nothing against him, and that's what I'm trying to get ahead of myself, trying to get out front before I say Derrick White just doesn't strike me as a Team USA basketball Olympian. So as previously mentioned, Derrick White did have a great season, 18th in win share totals. But I want to touch on some guys who were better than him in that objective, and then some guys I personally believe in who should have been in that spot instead of him this year. And the 5 guys above him that, obviously there were 17 guys above him, but a number of those guys, LeBron, KD, Anthony Edwards, those guys are already on the team, and then the other ones are mostly Luka, Giannis, Domantas Sabonis, guys who are overseas international players who aren't suiting up for Team USA. But a few guys above him in just win shares, that's all I'm looking at here for something objective. We got Jalen Brunson, we got Jimmy Butler, we got Chet Holmgren. I bet you weren't thinking that name would be that high up there. DeMar DeRozan, newly Sacramento King back in Compton, and Jarrett Allen. Now, I'm not saying I think Jarrett Allen should be on Team USA, but I feel like the other 4 names I've given have a pretty decent argument. If you want to poo-poo Chet because of his age and inexperience, I guess that's fair. I think it's an interesting prospect because we could put him out there, at this age, maybe get him that early gold medal, and then in 20 years it's going to be like, oh man, them Americans beat out the Frenchies with Chet over Victor. Obviously, right now Wemby's looking like the best thing since sliced bread. But Chet's going to be a great player, and that would just be a cool way to kind of build onto what he's already going to be. Then we got Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, and Jalen Brunson, all 3 guys who I definitely would have picked ahead of Derrick White in that sense. All 3 of those guys have, I believe, made all NBA teams. Jimmy Butler made, second team last year. DeRozan's made it before. And I think Jalen Brunson made one of the third teams. But that's just the guys who are, by win share measurement, those are just the guys who I think deserve a mention, who are above them in that aspect. But obviously win shares aren't everything. And here I'm going to make a list of guys, and I know some people are going to just, I don't want him anywhere near my Team USA basketball, but just listen to me. So I got Jalen Brunson, Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, James Harden, LaMelo Ball, Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Jaylen Brown, and Chris Paul. That is 12 guys who I feel like through either their accomplishments or their current trajectory, that's mainly how I feel with like Trae Young, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson. But then the other guys on accolades, Chris Paul, James Harden, those sort of guys, Kyrie, Those are guys who, for those different reasons, I just feel like deserve that roster spot over Derrick White on the team. And again, I'm not trying to put down Derrick White because, again, had a great season, real breakout for the guy. He's made the defensive team the year before, but he got his second appearance on it. Only the second team. I think, you could probably make some arguments for the first team, but then you would have had an all-Celtics defensive backcourt then. They did, but anyway. I'm really not trying to, put down Derrick White, but there are just some really great NBA American basketball players who are missing out on this opportunity when it might very well be their last chance. Kyrie Irving, you want to put all the personal stuff, whatever you think about him, whatever happened on social media, put all that aside, just look at him through the lens of basketball. Unbelievable talent. An NBA 75 mention, I forgot about that. Him and Dame, both NBA 75 players, missing out on the opportunity to be on that Olympic team. These are players who, Derrick White, he's 30, he's been in the league 8 seasons now. He's been around, but some of these guys just got miles on them through, the storylines they've created in the league, through the memories they've given us, through the impact they've made on whatever team's ability to win. Talk as much junk as you want about guys like James Harden right now, Chris Paul right now. Those are still winning players who, given the right contract, every team in the league would take. Without a doubt. At least to get 15 plus minutes off the bench, bare minimum, all of those guys would get minutes somewhere. Because I'm mainly talking about Chris Paul with that last one. But all of these guys are I just feel like they've done so much more, and they have more so cemented themselves as icons in not only the NBA, but in the American basketball culture. You want to talk about guys who are a part of the culture of American NBA basketball. Damian Lillard, literally a rapper, gets mentioned by other rappers and raps his own raps. Kyrie Irving, I'm sure you can find plenty of songs that mention him. Jimmy Butler, plenty of songs that mention him, I'm sure. These are guys that have not just on-court accolades, but they have the respect and the renown that a Team USA player, in my opinion, should really have. And obviously, I'm not saying every roster up until this point has been perfect. I can't imagine many of us look back and say, oh yeah, my favorite Team USA basketball player, Mike Bibby. Yep, Mike Bibby. That was my favorite gold medalist NBA player. There are a number of guys. Mike Bibby, what was it, Brewer or Boozer? I'm blanking on who made it. There's a number of guys who have been on these. Maybe one day I'll have some fancy schmancy recording setup that I don't have to worry about the camera falling over in, and I don't have issues with sound and everything that I end up recording multiple videos and scrapping every one of them, even though one of them went like an hour in length. Maybe you'll see that someday, or at least a different version of it. But last thing I want to talk about, just some hard numbers, some definitive facts about these players. Derrick White, his stats for the 2023-24 season: 15.2 points, 4.2 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and as we mentioned, that All-NBA second defensive team. Good numbers, pretty good numbers, but kind of pedestrian. When I think, again, Olympian, I think of like All-NBA. I think of guys who are really getting in the mud and getting it out of there, Jalen Brunson, in comparison, 28.7 points, 3.6 rebounds. He lost in the rebound battle, and 6.7 assists, so he's got him smoked by 13 points and assist. Trae Young, he only played 54 games this year, but he averaged 25.7, 2.8, and damn near 11 with 10.8 assists per game. These are what I think of when I think of Olympian, all gold medalist, American representative. These are the type of things. Jaylen Brown, Jaylen Brown was already the best Celtics player not on Team USA, and then they put another Celtic not named Jaylen Brown on. I don't know if he refused. He made a little tweet with like some emojis that if he did refuse and he made that tweet, He's a damn dirty pot stirrer. But Jaylen Brown, his numbers 23, 5.5, 3.6. And finally, Kyrie Irving, who is my pick for just the most deserving out of anybody, even though, oh shit, Kyrie's from Australia? Does he? There's no way he's still. I bet Kyrie could play Team U. Whatever. He's most of the guys in the NBA, guys who have been here for over a decade, especially, like, they're Americanized. They could claim. Joel Embiid did. These guys can claim American nationality if they feel like it. Kyrie's numbers on the season: 25.6, 5 rebounds, 5.2 assists. Just what I think about. Like, these are the type of numbers that I think about when I think of guys who should be Team USA basketball, guys who should be going to the Olympics to get that gold medal this year, because it is damn near a guarantee unless Giannis, like, literally becomes the basketball god that comes down from the sky in that episode of Regular Show and gives Mordecai and Rigby the basketball, like, powers, and Muscle Man. No, High Five Ghost gets injured. That's why Muscle Man gets him. I digress. Unless he does that, this is essentially the most guaranteed thing since, like, a Wemby Rookie of the Year bet. I mean, if they don't get gold medal, it's not that anybody else won, it's that they lost it. So that's all I got for today. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to the channel. Again, I've tried to film a few times, but just stupid stuff that I'm like, this isn't good enough. We got to scrap this. If you're still around, thank you. If you're new, welcome. My name is Zachary Taylor. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If I'm insane, if I'm spitting, let me know. I thank you for your time today.